Hello everyone, my name is Ola Zaccheus, writing as Ola Zaccheus, and for the past 2 weeks, so to speak, we have been reading a book I wrote called The Diversions of Life. So I'll be continuing today. Last week we spoke about how Esau got diverted from his destiny, from his birthright because of his appetite, and how Solomon multiplied wives, had many, went into apostasy because he didn't restrain himself. So today we continue and we'll finish up with appetite. Solomon, the wisest man of his time, became the most foolish. Why? He did not govern his appetite for women and other material things. Before Solomon became king, it was already in the law that a king was not to proliferate wives unto himself. Deuteronomy 17, verse 17a NIV says, "He must not take many wives, or his heart will be led astray." Solomon ignored this part of the law and ended up with 700 wives and 300 concubines. The many wives and concubines of Solomon led him astray because he ended up worshipping the diverse gods of his women, contrary to God's instructions against idolatry. There may come a time in your life that blessings are chasing you rather than you chasing blessings. Good things start happening to you and are constantly flowing in your direction. That is the time to be careful and not cast off restraint so that you don't become a victim of your appetite. Solomon lost his love for God and became an apostate because of his unrestrained appetite for women. It is especially tragic because Solomon knew the consequences of his father's lack of control over Bathsheba, his mother, that resulted into sexual sin. Yet, he followed the same path. David coveted Bathsheba, who was another man's wife, and he had an affair with her when her husband was at war. Little did David realize that singular action will cause several things to happen. Number one, Bathsheba became pregnant for David while still married to another man. Number two, David killed Uriah, Bathsheba's husband, in order to conceal his sin. Number three, for the death of Uriah, God judged David 4 times, according to the judgment that David pronounced upon himself in 2 Samuel 12, verse 6. The child born by Bathsheba died. Amnon, David's firstborn, raped his sister Tamar and was consequently killed in retaliation by his brother Absalom. Absalom was killed in battle when he rebelled against his father David. After David's death, Adonijah, another of David's son, died because he plotted to dethrone Solomon, David's son, who had now been installed king. All of the above was not the original plan of God for David. He brought these situations upon himself because of his unrestrained appetite for women. Unrestrained appetite has put men in trouble in the past, and it is still happening today. From time to time, you read in the newspapers about a potentially great person cut short by excesses. Reuben was the firstborn of the patriarch Jacob. His unrestrained appetite for sex led him to sleep with his father's wife. The consequence was that though he was the firstborn and he was supposed to inherit a double portion of blessings due to the firstborn according to Jewish tradition, Reuben lost his position to Joseph, a younger sibling. As if that was not enough punishment, his father placed a curse upon Reuben that he will not excel. Reuben, you are my firstborn, my might, the first sign of my strength, excelling in honor, excelling in power, turbulent as the waters. You will no longer excel, for you went up unto your father's bed, unto my couch, and defiled it. That's Genesis 49, 3-4 NIV. It was several hundred years after that the curse was lifted from Reuben's descendants, when Moses said in Deuteronomy 33, verse 6, King James Version, "Let Reuben live and not die, and let not his men be few. Amnon, David's son, was destined for kingship due to his position as firstborn, but he never attained it. He lost his life ignominiously because of his unrestrained sexual appetite that led him to rape his sister Tamar. This is where we'll end the book reading for this week. Thank you for listening. God bless. Amen.